Today we will be discussing and demonstrating the technique and progression surrounding the Olympic-style lift, the clean. When preparing to do an Olympic-style lift, it is essential to have a proper warm-up. While there are numerous ways, a solid warm-up for Olympic lifts include things such as an aerobic portion, a dynamic warm-up, and a barbell warm-up. Before we begin, it is important to understand that everyone has different biomechanics, which are affected by things such as flexibility and limb lengths. Generally, squat position is full depth. This is different for everyone, but it is essentially the lowest one can go while maintaining a correct posture. Feet positioned on the squat are generally pointed slightly outwards from your midline, but this all depends on people's individual flexibilities and limb lengths as well. During a front squat, the bar should be resting in the catch position. This is essentially the bar resting on the shoulders and supported with your grip. We will go over this more in depth later. Again, all these positions require a certain degree of flexibility, and to achieve proper form, you might have to work up to it through a stretching regime. The grip placement for the hang clean and the clean itself are slightly outside shoulder width. There are various strategies involving grip placement. Some people like to have a grip a little bit wider in order to get the contact point a little bit closer to the hip. In the clean rack position, the barbell should be resting on the shoulders. Some people may find that flexibility of the wrists, elbows, or shoulders might be a problem. The important thing is to be supporting the weight of the bar on the shoulders rather than the wrist, even if it means gripping the bar with less fingers. The proper start position for the hang clean involves having the feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart and the weight distributed over the front edge of the heel. The bar should be around mid-thigh with a grip slightly wider than shoulder width as we discussed earlier. The shin should be about vertical with the knees slightly bent, and the back should be tight and engaged in complete extension, and the core tight. Shoulders should hang slightly in front of the bar, and the head should be upright and eyes directed forward. Now that we know how to properly start a hang clean, we're going to use this in our first progression lift, the mid hang clean jump. In this, you're essentially going to start in that position and jump vertically as high as possible. You should keep the bar in light contact with the body throughout the movement. Building off of this, our second progression is the mid hang clean pull. In this, you will explode off the ground as before, but this time be sure to engage your shoulders and lats to keep the bar connected and in line with the thighs. When you reach full extension with the legs vertical, shrug your shoulders up to allow the bar to follow its path. The next progression, the rack delivery, is essentially a transitional drill between the pull and then the catch. And this you're going to stand fully extended and complete the pull by, at the high point of the bar, pivoting the elbows around the barbell and catching underneath it. This catch should place the barbell around your neck and shoulder area. This all depends, of course, on people's various limb lengths and biomechanics, but the important thing here is to push the shoulders forward and slightly up while the elbows come up to establish that safe rack position. Before we begin discussing the progression of the lift, it is important to be mindful of safety. Missing a clean safely involves dropping the bar forward and away from the body while being mindful that the knees and the elbows don't make contact with each other. Now that we've discussed some of these progressions, let's go into the mid-hang clean. Starting the mid-hang clean position, you want to use your legs and explode off the ground, keeping the bar as close to the body as possible. You achieve this by engaging your lats and shoulders to keep the bar tight. Right around where the bar connects with mid-thigh, or wherever the bar naturally hangs, you want to snap your hips open to complete the drive with legs until full extension. At this position, your feet might leave the floor, and you should pull the elbows as high as possible from this point. From here, transition from the pull into the clean rack position as the feet reconnect with the floor. After this, you want to complete the catch by going into a full squat and recovering in the standing position.
The difference between the hang clean and the power clean is that the power clean starts from the floor and ends in a full squat. Therefore, the progressions apply to both lifts. Thank you for watching this video on how to do a hang clean and a power clean, and we hope it helps.